Hey guys, welcome back to Tipharot. It's me Matt here, and just a heads up, this week's videos are in fact going to be audio only videos again, so you don't need to pay attention to anything on screen unless I mention, for example, that there's going to be a link to something. Then you can just check back on the video and find the link, but otherwise you can just listen and enjoy. So in today's video, I'm going to be giving you another 5 things that you can do in a lucid dream. Number 1, create your own dream control technique. So what do I mean by this? Well, you may already, for example, know different ways that you can fly in a lucid dream, or different ways that you can spawn an object, different ways that you can control a dream character, or different ways that you can get someplace new. Well, what I want you to try and do this time is to actually try and come up with a new way of doing one of these things. It's always good to have multiple tools in your arsenal when it comes to an actual lucid dream, because sometimes some techniques simply don't work. So you can actually play around, experiment, think about what could maybe work for one of these things. So say you want to spawn something, think about just some unique idea that you can come up with for how you could make something appear in a dream. And try it out, experiment with different things and discover your own techniques. This is going to help you hugely because often the techniques you discover for yourself are the ones that actually work the best. My second suggestion is to try out one of your real-world hobbies in a lucid dream. Now, some things may be a little harder to do in a lucid dream, like say listening to music or playing a computer game or something like that. It might not work out the way that you kind of plan it when you're actually in a lucid dream, but try these things out. Try whatever it is that you enjoy doing while you're awake, because you may find that it is a very unique and interesting experience when you experience it during a dream. Often because you're so familiar with that hobby and you spend so much time on it in your waking life, it is going to be one of the most real and accurately represented things inside your dreams, because you're so familiar with it that your mind can actually create this simulation of it very easily. Now, my third suggestion for you is to prepare for an important event or meeting of some kind. So say you have a job interview coming up, or you're giving a speech to your class or to a group of people somewhere. Prepare for it in a dream. It might seem a bit weird, but it's an easy way to actually put yourself in a realistic seeming situation. So say you have to give a speech in front of, say, 300 people. There's no way to practice that really, in real life, because you can't just suddenly get 300 random people to come and listen to your speech. You can practice it yourself alone, but that's not the same as standing in front of a crowd of people. But in a lucid dream, you can spawn a room full of people, a great big auditorium of some kind, and you can stand at the front and you can give a speech to 300, maybe even 300,000 people. And it's going to be easier than doing it in the real world, but it's going to feel real enough that you get some practice, and it's going to be a lot easier when you actually have to do that for real. Idea number 4 is to reconnect with someone lost. Maybe it's an old friend that you haven't seen in a long time. Maybe it's a relative that passed away. Someone that you didn't really get to say your goodbyes to and that you miss and you haven't seen. You can reconnect with them in a dream. Now, obviously this is not them that you're meeting. This is just a subconscious representation of them. But sometimes this can help give you closure. It can even be a pet. Say you lost a pet at some point. You can meet that pet in a dream and kind of say your goodbyes if you never got to say them in the real world. Or maybe it's an old friend that you lost contact with. You don't have their number, their email address, you don't know where they live, you don't know any way of finding them, and so you're probably never going to see or hear from them again, and you just want to catch up with them. You want to tell them how your life's going now, you want to tell them all the exciting things that you're now doing, and how you've changed, and you want to hear about their life now. So you could meet them in a lucid dream, and while it's not actually them that you're speaking to, sometimes it can feel nice to get a few things off your chest like that. Idea number 5 is to analyse a dream from within. Now, I've talked before on my channel about dream analysis and how your subconscious is the source of your dreams. So by looking at the content of some of those dreams, you can sometimes get some clues as to what's going on beneath the surface of your mind. Now, it's all very well to analyse your dreams while you're awake, but you can also do it while you're having the dream itself. Very recently, I was in a lucid dream and I decided to play around with this. I've only done this a few times, but it's always produced interesting results. I'll simply turn to a dream character or look up at the sky or speak to my subconscious in some way in the dream, and I'll ask them, what are you trying to show me here? What is this dream about? What does this represent? What does this thing that I'm looking at represent? What does this place that I'm at represent? Who do these people represent, and why am I experiencing things this way? Sometimes you won't get any useful answers whatsoever, and it will just be a kind of futile exercise, but there's no harm in trying. Other times though, you will get very, very valuable answers, things that you wouldn't have thought of if you were trying to analyse the dream yourself. So it can be an interesting thing to try, a bit of fun, but also quite valuable. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you've enjoyed the video. If you did, remember to subscribe for more. And also you should check out my Patreon. If you're interested in supporting the channel, now's the best time, because it's almost the end of the month, which means it's the best time to get in if you actually want to be a patron this June. Thank you guys for watching. Take care.